It's fashion tea time. For this tea, we're sipping spearmint. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 reunion part 1. So they open up the reunion with the conversation between Robin and Giselle when they're discussing airing the situation of Robin and her fiance on Patreon and not airing it on the show. So Robin is saying that yes, Juan was an idiot and he communicated with the woman, and she said she's gonna share the details of it on Patreon. Then they switch to the clip of What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, which aired February 5th, 2023. So for this, Andy is asking Robin the same situation. How come she did not discuss the situation between her and Juan on the show, but instead she sold it to Patreon? Then also he asks, so Chris was the sacrificial lamb while you had skeletons in your closet, but you did not bring those out. And Robin replies, we all have skeletons in our closet. Now they switch to 2 weeks forward. This is the time of the reunion. You know how they have the cast coming in. It's really early in the morning. The sun is not even out. Normally it's a little daylight, but the sun is not even out. Giselle stepping out. She got a pink sweatsuit on. She's talking about it's mad early. Why they gotta have it that early? Okay. Next is blonde. Ashley comes out with a blonde wig on, glasses, black hat. Wendy steps out with an orange suit on. Celine just came in. Okay, that's what Candace was wearing. All right, Wendy says she is feeling good. She's was in her truth all season, so she got nothing to worry about. She's over there putting her wig on. All right, Andy's asking Karen how she feels about Charisse being at the reunion. You know, he's trying to see what she gonna say. So Karen did not throw any shade. She said, well, considering how much, Charisse filmed, then she should be on the reunion. And she lightly tapped Andy on his shoulder while she said that. All right. Now, the blues are going on. Yes, yes, Giselle looks very nice in this blue. Yes, okay. Giselle and Robin shared a dressing room for some reason. Okay. So, the blue is looking nice. Loving the blue. All right, let's see. Candace came with the shade. She just gave Andy Cohen a gift. She said, Mazel Tov. She said she gave him a shirt that says, not today Satan, not today neck, and not today ankles. So we know what that and who that is for. That is shade that she is throwing very clearly to a specific person. All right. Now they're coming out. They're starting to sit down on the couch. They're getting seating. You know how there was the whole situation about the seating arrangements. All right. Nice blues. Yes. All right. Dr. Wendy's looking like a peacock on the top half. Nice though. Wouldn't like to see like the peacock kind of finish. It looked like the peacock started very nice and then it just stopped somewhere. Okay. All right, they talking about Karen. Karen says she ready for it. She said she don't think it's necessary for her to have her boxing gloves on, but if it is, she'll have them. All right, Ashley's discussing kind of her, being single and stuff like that, and how it didn't work out with Luke, that guy that she was just dating. So he's a hockey player that she was dating, but she says she's not messing with him anymore. Yes. So Giselle is dating someone new. That's who, Jason. That's who she's been out with right there. So he's significantly younger than her, but hey, it seems to be working for them. So Dr. Wendy had to throw in, oh, Ashley, you should say how Giselle and Jason met. So then Ashley says, well, Giselle said to Ashley, like, oh, I want to, talk to him. So then Ashley said to her friend, like, oh, you know, Giselle is interested. So then the guy DM Giselle. So I guess she was trying to throw shade. Like the guy didn't approach Giselle. Giselle approached, the guy in a certain way through a third party. So whatever. However, they kind of got together though, and so they are hanging out together. Okay, so Karen is definitely throwing shade over there, yarning when Robin is talking about her wedding and stuff. That was very clear, direct shade. Okay, Andy is like, let me tell you, Candace, before the internet tells you, you're about to get Cookie Monster jokes. And so then Candace is like, how you know that this wasn't supposed to be a tribute to Cookie Monster? All right, there, Wendy. Andy's asking Wendy about her health. She said her health is good. Yes, Dr. Wendy, you got to take care of yourself. You got to get some rest. Everyone, there's no excuse. She said she's drinking some water and some other things. Yeah, now they have Mia with that frog and the watertight ass. Like, I don't know what all that was about, but yeah. So now Andy is like, so what do y'all think about the seating arrangements? So they're like, well, Andy, you the one that created it. So Andy's like, no, it's actually a group of people. So Andy is not the one who decides. He just has a voice in it. So he's saying that the reason why it was kind of the way it is because it was kind of difficult to seat the people together because so many people kind of have feuds with each other. But normally Robin would have been sitting over there next to Giselle. So that was kind of the big switch. All right, now they're going to Ashley's situation, kind of with the unconventional situation as she was getting a divorce, where she was trying to get a divorce, but also plan to purchase a new home with her husband that she's about to divorce in the process of divorcing. So obviously that was, setting alarms off for people and just generally, that's not probably the best thing for someone to kind of consider doing. Yeah, now they talking about what Candace thinks that Ashley deserves some young loving instead of what she's been getting these past years. So Candace thinks Ashley needs some young stuff. And it seems that Ashley thought the same because that's what she wound up going and doing. So Ashley did move out of the penthouse and she did move into a new home. And the new home is 7 minutes from the old home. Andy asks if her ex husband, has a key to the new home. She said yes. And all the ladies are kind of looking like, why does your ex have a key to your new home? And she said right now it's for the safety of herself and her kids and stuff like that. So she said they do have some notice if he's gonna come see the kids and things like that. Um, so the ladies are kind of looking at her like, very, why do you have this man having the keys to your new home? And that's real. You got to think about that. So yeah, while she was dating the hockey guy, she was at her house, and the kids were with their father for the weekend, and the children were supposed to come back on Monday, but in still her ex-husband brought the kids back over on Sunday instead. And so she said no, Luke had to leave the house because it was, they had just recently started dating, like a month or two, so she didn't want the kids to be around the new guy that she's messing with. So he did leave, and he told her like, you need to enforce stricter boundaries with your ex-husband. So she's saying, her and Luke are not really together anymore. Andy asks, do you think there's some chance that they might get back together in the future? And she said she doesn't know. She said she really did kind of fall in love with him, but that was also because she had just kind of going through a divorce, and she was in a marriage where she was not getting a lot of love and affection. So someone kind of coming and giving that to her, so she easily fell in love with him. But she said she doesn't know, if they're gonna get back together. It seems like she kind of probably talking to other people, doing other things too. She said some other things on the side, hinting at stuff. And she just got back out there. You just got out of a marriage. You got two kids. Don't be settling down so quick, in the first guy you mess with. No, you got to get out there, date, get to know yourself again, get to know other people. So, okay, so now Andy is saying, like, oh, what's her ex-husband thinking about her looking so good, about Ashley looking so good and being out here dating? And Ashley's like, well, I think he's a little jealous, but he's out here dating too. So, but actually, she's not all the way divorced. She said she could file in February. So it's February now. So maybe she did file or maybe she didn't. But they're not technically divorced, but they are separated and going towards the divorce. So now they talking about the prenup. Yeah, that was, ooh. So unfortunately, I don't know if you know, like in the past seasons, when she had signed the first prenup when they got married, and then during the course of one of these tapings in the season, she signed another prenup on tape, and that says something about like how long they stay together and whether they get, how much money she gets if they stay together like 5 years or whatever. But somehow she was not reading that small print correctly, and it seems like she is not getting alimony. She's not getting any lump sum payment, alimony, anything. She is supposedly getting child support. And then she says she kind of put a back net somehow. So she put a safety net that if she does have financial hardship in the future, that he'll supposed to help her. But wow, that is a major blow. And it's just something for you to really pay attention to when you sign and you doing these prenups. Like, you have to pay attention to what you are signing and paying attention to. So Karen is saying, like, look into it. Giselle's like, well, she don't even know how much it is. Like, it doesn't matter if she knows exactly. She should look into it. Like, she should look into it and make sure that it is. Giselle's kind of being a little negative. Well, Ashley's being honest. She's definitely being honest about the situation. It's messed up, though. So somebody named Portia, but from another place. Not I don't think it's that Portia. said, "Oh, she doesn't think that Ashley and Mike are divorcing because Mike wants to have threesomes now, and Ashley doesn't want to do it anymore." And Ashley's like, "Well, yes," she said. "Now that she has two kids, she, kind of changed her lifestyle, and she does not want to do that anymore. She wants to be monogamous." I think there's a whole lot of other stuff too. It's not just that, but that was certainly one part. He was over here evidently flaunting um with other people, and he definitely was not doing it discreetly. So then they go to Maya, and Andy's asking Maya, like, "So what about you? Would you change, or have you changed since you were kind of open to doing different things sexually with your husband at first, and then, you have children, have things changed?" Maya said things have changed just like outwardly, that they don't do certain things because they have children, so it's not so exposed, but that they still do things because she said that's the way she kept her man, she got him, and that's the way she's going to keep him, so she's going to continue doing those things. And Ashley said to each his own, but that's why she's getting a divorce. So now they go back to when Ashley was throwing shade at Candace, talking about she was most unaccomplished on the couch. But Candace got dropping albums. She's graduating. She got a master's degree. And then and Ashley is like, "Well, now look at what you got going on." So Candace is like, "How you gonna talk about me and look at what you?" So Ashley did say she apologized, but she said she's not gonna let anyone make her feel less than. And now Candace is like, "How were y'all throwing shade at me before 3 years ago? Because I was living in a house that my mother paid for, helped me buy, and y'all were trying to shame me. But now you're in a house only because your ex-husband or husband helped you purchase that home, and that is the only reason why you are in that home." So Candace is like, "Don't look down on me because my mother helped me get somewhere where your ex-husband or husband ex-husband to be is helping you to get somewhere, and you don't want anybody to look down on you for that." So Ashley's like, "Well, obviously it's still sensitive to you because you still bringing it up." And I guess it is. But Candace, you gotta feel strong in yourself. Other people can't make you feel bad about what you are doing. You stand in your own ground and you say, "Yes, if my mother helped me get this home or whoever helped me get this home, so what? I am in this home and this is my home and whatever, and that's just what it is." You gotta feel strong in your own sense. All right, back to the filing and divorce. She said again, she's filing in February. She says she is keeping his name, Darby, because she wants to keep the same name as her two kids. She says she wants to clear up that on the show, she did make some comments about, some of the behaviors the kids were displaying because of some of the situations that were kind of happening between them, the parents, as, they kind of figure out how to co-parent and get a divorce and move and just do a lot of things. So she said she wanted to clear up that Michael is a good father. She seemed to be relaxed, even though it's a lot. Sometimes you can see like if somebody is like more stressed out or whatever. um but she's talking about a little fight that somebody got into. I think that's the fight she got into with Luke. She got into a little fight with Luke or something. So I think that's why she thinks that they're donezo. She said, "I think we're pretty donezo." So, but she's like, "Oh, she's talking to other people. All right, let's see who has the nicest outfit over here. Let's look at these blue outfits. All right. I definitely do like Giselle's, even though I really wouldn't picture Giselle wearing this actually, but this really looked nice. I like the way it covers all the way, even though the lines is like, should that line have been there? Maybe it should have been moved up or right there, like right now in the exact place. But it still looks really nice. All right, now they're talking about Mia and her locations that are opening, but that's a whole lot because she's talking about she opening locations, but then she's not. I just want to say, listen, I don't know Mia's details about stuff, but I just see a whole lot of fabrication of words and extra words and words, but no clear answers and responses about things. Now they talking about the health stuff. So no talking about nobody's health when it comes to real health stuff. Like, no. But just when you see how that all played out, it was no clear about what's happening, what was the response, what was the outcome. It was just a response to say, like, I'm gonna go up for this, I'm gonna go for this, and these are the response. So the women are kind of like looking at her like a little like, what's happening, but at the same time, you're not trying to like call anybody out for health stuff. That's really sensitive. But you can clearly see that things are not necessarily seem to be clear cut, or even in an honest necessary fashion per se, because Giselle also had a health situation, and she discussed it a little bit, and I think she might discuss it a little more, but it's just a different way and no comparison. People are gonna discuss their things differently, but you could just see the responses. You can see the things that she's saying she's had and how it is. And then also the same thing with the businesses, when she's talking about her businesses, and then it goes into the boards and the people on the board and who runs this and what's this, and then she throws in, oh, but she gets paid for being a PR and this. She's not giving clear answers about many things. It's a lot of run around or just extra words that are provided in a response and not a clear coherent response. So the women are kind of on the couch. They're just making faces. They're shaking their head. They're like, there's concern. When you, like I said, when you're talking about health, you have concern. But at the same time, the way she is presenting it, it is very in a questionable manner. So they are, even Andy is like, what is happening? What is happening? So then Andy did ask a question about somebody from online, asking maybe some of the health situations she's having are due to the foreign objects and substances that she's putting in her body. And that's real. And so Mia did say that yes, that is a possibility, and that the doctors even stated that some of the health things could be a direct result. Carcidosis, if she has that, then she's saying that her doctor is saying that it could be a direct result of her body trying to reject a foreign substance. All right, now they switched to Wendy. So Wendy was apparently caught on a hot mic saying that Mia was a liar, but that was off, like she didn't realize that was being taped, so that's a hot mic. But when Robin called Mia a liar, Wendy was like, well, I never called Mia a liar. And actually, so she called her a liar, but behind, she didn't say it to her face, which you're not gonna go and shouldn't just tell somebody like, oh, you're lying straight up, when you don't even know if they're lying. You just have your speculations. So I kind of think Wendy did it the right way. Like, even though, she kind of went off camera, and then the producer asked her something and she was like, oh, Mia's lying anyway, so I'm not even paying her no attention. So that's what she was saying. But you can't just go up to somebody and be like, nah, you lying straight to your face when someone tells you they have a diagnosis, because you don't know for 100% sure. Like Robin and Giselle were like, no, you're lying, like straight to your face. Like you gotta, and something might be happening. She's having some health or something happening, some health scares or something's happening. But So Wendy said though that she did acknowledge it and she made a tweet about it. You know, when like, oh, when you get caught with a hot mic, but you know, whatever. Now Wendy and Mia kind of throwing back shade at each other. Wendy's like, well, when I was in the hospital, my husband was supporting me and there for me. And then she turned to Andy and said, next question. And then Mia's just shaking her head. Mia didn't have a response back. So now they talking about Mia and Gordon, her husband, and their businesses. And she says she owns 14 joint chiropractic businesses. But there you go again with like a lot of different stuff. So now they going in on her. This is all of them. Even Andy is looking confused, like, but what? I don't understand. So now they talking about a bank account. Now, me, I don't know what you talking about. And all the lady, everybody's like, no. She's saying when you have a joint business account, that either one of the people can go in and take and shut the other person out. No, that is not the case. If you two have complete joints access, no, that is the whole point, that you cannot do that to the other person. So I don't know what Mia is not exactly talking about, but you know, so everybody is like no. So she's trying to get a little testy because everybody is questioning her about this business stuff. She's talking about the board. There's 8 people on the board. No, there's 6 people on the board. No, I have 51%. Like nothing she's saying is flowing and coherent. And Andy is looking very confused. And everybody is like, yeah, no, no, and just coming with more questions and stuff like her. So Mia's starting to get a little frustrated. But Andy's like, no, 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 but for real, like we really just want to know. Like, we're not trying to be shady. And Mia's like, well, if y'all gonna be talking about me like this, then I'm not gonna discuss this anymore with these ladies. They still trying to kind of ask questions to clarify. You're not going to get a clear answer. There's going to be no clear answer at all. They have members, they have managing members, they have boards. She's just a vote, but she owns the most percentage out of everybody. Now they laughing again. Now this is all of the ladies. Karen is got her head back into the couch. And he's like, let's clarify how many people on the board. Mia is getting testy. They're like, we're trying to clarify. We're just trying to clarify. Mia's like, if you don't understand business, you just don't understand business. Mia said, next question. And they still, Andy's just still going. He's like, so Mia's like, well, I still own my stakes. And now Mia's like, we need to sell out the company. Giselle's talking about the brothers. And now Giselle is bringing up, oh, maybe it's embezzlement because, okay, so Mia and Gordon's businesses, those chiropractic businesses, those are open with Gordon's family, his brothers and other family like nephews and stuff. So Giselle is saying that it seemed, I don't know how it seemed, but she's saying it seemed like Gordon is being accused of embezzlement. So now Andy is like, about Andy's talking about how Mia posted about that moving out of the house. So she moved into a rental house in Potomac, spent $60,000 on renovations. only to move out because she said she doesn't have the $40,000 coming in anymore. She said they were renting several properties before. They had a rental condo in Charlotte. Oh, she said, they said, why do you have so many rentals? She said, oh, because we're bi-coastal. And the other lady's like, that's not bi-coastal. North Carolina is not bi-coastal. This is the same coast. So they laughing at her again. So then they saying, did you, Andy's like, did you sell those properties, those rental properties you had like in Charlotte and I think it was North Carolina, Atlanta? And she said, yes, she had to sell them all because they didn't have any income coming in. So now they talking about Giselle being private about her health situation. That's what I was talking about. So Andy asked Mia, is there anything that she would do differently? And Mia's like, no. She can't change her, so no. She's smiling, very fake smile, she's kind of switching. No, no. She doesn't seem comfortable or anything like that. She doesn't look comfortable. She's just saying things, she's just saying things to save face for the most part. You can see that. Okay. Andy. So Andy is wearing this tie. And Andy had this same tie on Watch What Happens Live with Robin. So Andy, I feel like you could have had a nice blue, bright blue, tie or something go with in your suit or something to match the ladies. They're so bright and beautiful. So that would have been nice. I do like Mia's top. Look at that nice top. I like how it blends in. It looks very nice on Mia. She did kind of lift her breast up a couple of times. I don't know what that was about. Let's see. Actually, I see it's like silver. I wonder if she had a little more blue, but no, it looks nice. It's the light pale that kind of goes down. Ashley does look nice. Andy tried to throw some shade talking about it, fun shade. He said, "Ooh, you look nice from what I can see, but there's not much for me to see." Saying she does not wearing a lot of clothing. Oh, now they're talking about Candace and her kind of baby making process. She's doing some hormone shots, just trying to get pregnant and get her body in a healthy way and stuff like that. So they're kind of discussing her fertility journey. Now I do like Karen's top. It didn't flow. The top, the sheer part should have flowed a little bit. It clumped up, and that's what made it look awkward and mess up the outfit. Otherwise, Karen's top look would have very pretty. Oh, now they're talking about Chris and the accusations that Giselle made against Chris, making Giselle feel uncomfortable. I mean, listen, obviously, I don't know what really happened, but overall, Giselle, that seemed very far fetched. And just especially how they seem to set up the situation. So never would you want to accuse somebody of lying about how they felt, especially when it comes to situations like this. We all know that, ladies, right? But at the same time, we do see like how y'all all try to set up. Y'all try to bring that other girl on to say that we saw the clips clearly play back about what Chris Bassett was saying and doing. So you have to tread lightly, but no, Giselle, no, no, no. So they showing that Chris did apologize to Giselle, saying, if I made you feel uncomfortable, this is DM. If I made you feel uncomfortable, I apologize. Giselle's like, well, that's him admitting. No, that's not him admitting that he did. That's saying if he did. But also, Candace says she want to point out that Chris sent Giselle that apology early before all the other stuff played out on the show. So that's the difference, okay? So Candace is saying she's going to let Chris talk for himself. He's going to come on next episode. But Chris sent that apology if he made her feel uncomfortable, he was sorry. But Candace is saying that was before her and Chris saw all the things that Giselle was saying and doing, calling Chris a sneaky link, saying that he was trying to see if Giselle was with it, and if she was, then he would have went with it. Like, Giselle was reaching real far, saying a whole lot of stuff. So now Giselle want to say, I do want to apologize to him for that term. But then she's like, I want to apologize. And Candace is shutting her down, right? Yes, Candace. She's like, no. She's like, when did you apologize? What are you apologizing now? Are you going to apologize? Like, what are you trying to say? Because Giselle's giving fake apologies. So Candace is saying the issue is not now the situation that happened, but it's that the way that Giselle waited until the camera started rolling to say something. And that is what Candace does not like. She feels like Giselle should have said something to Candace when it happened, and not wait until after the show started filming. So they saw each other at a premiere, and Giselle did not say anything to Candace then. And Giselle's like, well, I wasn't going to say anything to you at your premiere of your music, whatever. So Candace is like, you're going to wait until we come on the show on public then to sit there and say it? And Giselle's like, yes. So Giselle said, I'm sorry. And Candace said, you can take that apology and you can shove it. So now they kind of go back and forth and talking about, so then if that didn't happen, why did Chris lie about who invited who to the room? So supposedly Chris kind of said, I want to have a conversation with you. And then Giselle kind of suggested that they go to the room to speak, but then she thought there was going to be her people in the room, like her hairdresser people, makeup people, but there was nobody in the room. So then she felt uncomfortable. So then Chris said, well, it was Giselle that suggested we go to the room, but Giselle is saying that it was Chris or whatever. So they saying like Chris is going to come on and he'll clarify it. Now they talking about her embryos. Candace's embryo. She got 6 embryos. She's crying about her embryos, that she has. Now they talking about the term of sexual assault being used because somebody, one of the viewers asked a question like, Candace, you are throwing the term sexual harassment and out, or sexual assault out, and that's dangerous. And Candace is like, well, that is what he's accused of, when Giselle said that she saw him grope or grab another female's butt. So Candace is saying that is what he's being accused of, and which is why I'm saying this is serious and you shouldn't be saying that. Okay, so I don't think that person fully understood what Candace was saying and why Candace was saying that. And this is the thing. listen, this is a show and it's all shade and it's all fun, but you should not be accusing people of things. That's when you go too far, especially about sexual assault and things like that, especially in this day and age in this culture. All right, yes, Andy, thank you. Andy is like, listen, why can't the situation just be that it was just two people? He's talking about Chris and Giselle in the room again, that it was just two mature people going to have a conversation. And it was not that somebody was trying to get someone to do something, that Chris wasn't trying to get Giselle to do something or see if Giselle wanted to do something with him. He's a married man. He has been showing up like a married man on this show thus far. And even when they are trying to entrap him and portray him in certain ways, it is still showing that he is showing up like a married man to Candace, okay? So, yes, Andy, thank you. We should be able to be in rooms with different opposites, same sex, gender, sexuality, whatever. Everything is not about sex. All right, Andy is like, yes, the situation could have been dealt with before. Why do you wait till the cameras start rolling? So now Giselle's like, well, I wasn't even going to say anything at all. But then when the other accusations came out about Chris pertaining to Ashley's friend who said that Chris was trying to talk to her, and then the way that Ashley said that Chris DM'd her, he did DM her, but it was kind of like those intentions and motives again. So Wendy is saying, like, Giselle, whenever you have an issue with someone, it's like the timing always correlates directly to filming. So Candace is getting a little, you know, she get a little shady. That woman, and they Andy had to clarify, are you talking about Giselle? Because Candace was like, I saw that woman. Andy's like, are you talking about her, Giselle? Candace was like, yes, that one. So Candace is like, you're not smart. You wait until national TV to say something when you had an opportunity. Giselle's like, no, I was smart. And Candace is like, Giselle, you mess with people's families and you use this show. And Candace made a really bad, I think that was below the belt, Candace. That was unnecessary. She said, you need to worry about your dwindling uterus, referring to Giselle. That was a low blow, Candace. Unnecessary. I feel you. They shouldn't be doing this stuff about Chris, but that was definitely low blow, Candace. And Giselle looked like she was a little stunned and hurt, which she should be, because Giselle be throwing a whole lot of shade. So take it. But anyway, that is the end of this fashion tea. So we'll see what we have for next episode. Tea to love, health, and happiness.